The other day I heard someone say, oh my god, Auntie Anne has the best pretzels. That's what's brought us here today. Okay, so pretzels. We've done pretzels before, so it's not like a newfangled thing. I have 2 different recipes, and we're gonna be using the one from my cookbook. And by the way, if you've gotten your book, please be sure to leave a review. They mean a lot, I love reading them. But the point that I wanna make is, people have the wrong idea about pretzels. Unless you live in Germany and you're used to it, right? Germans, homies. All right, you don't have to flex on us. Not everyone is as lucky as you. Just kidding, I don't believe in luck, I believe in hard work. So with all that said, let's make this, shall we?
Yeah, woo! In order to get to Auntie Anne's, for some reason they're only in malls, which I didn't realize until now. We're at the Galleria. Come on over. I don't like this. I hate going to the mall. Break your arm to get it. Oh, there's a video camera? All right, we're pulling up to the Auntie of Anne's. I'll do 2 salted pretzels. Okay, we've got this. We need to do the 3-point rating system. So first off, the little kiosk setup, pretty bad. So I'm gonna give that probably a 2.36784522.2. Is that possible? Out of 1 billion. Next thing, the menu, pretty basic. It's as expected. So we'll give it a 5 out of 10. That's fair, right? Here's a cinnamon sugar pretzel and here's a salt pretzel. Service, I'm gonna give that a 0 out of 5,000. They didn't really seem very present, but how can you blame them, right? They're serving pretzels all day. Let's just go eat this and this is not gonna be good. Oh, the adventure continues. Not only am I wearing my swimming trunks right now because I forgot to do laundry, the sticker they gave me to get out of here, I have no idea where I put it. So we're either locked in here or we're going to jail. All right, Vikram, how do you think you'll do in jail? So let's see, lost ticket. Oh, there is an option. Lost ticket per day. It doesn't specify. Oh, here we go. Touch circle if lost. Is that it? That's not terrible. 20 bucks. Business card. You
can blame Auntie Anne's.
So we've got the bag. This bag is like waxed. I guess that's actually kind of a good idea now that I think about it, because then it keeps it from grease getting out, right? That's a plus. Wow, that smells horrible. What is that? All right, number 1. What happened? Does that look the same? This looks like the anemic version that was forgotten at the hospital. Next, cinnamon sugar. This looks a lot better. They reserved the good pretzel for this one. This is what has the smell. It's not the pretzel. It's the fake butter. Oh, it decided to depart from its original body form. Ooh, so this is better, but it has the artificial butter flavor. What's wrong? Kendrick is covering his ears from this. Here, I'll take another bite and try to be nicer. Oh, okay. The sugar tastes good, but everything else about this is trash. We can do far better. Welcome to Buy Better.
Right, so we'll be using the recipe from my cookbook. Not the full recipe, but the essence of it. I just know it's gonna whoop on this here poopy Auntie Anne's. And don't get the wrong idea here, pal. There's over 100 recipes of pure New York Times bestseller in this book, and the link is in the god-dang description. Now, moving on to the dough. In a large bowl, add 2 cups or 500 milliliters of water that's around 100 degrees Fahrenheit, then add 3 1/4 teaspoon or 14 grams of instant yeast. Begin whisking that, and then whisk in a 1/3 cup or 72 grams of light brown sugar. Whisk it till everything's dissolved, and then let that sit at room temp for about 5 minutes. Then in a separate bowl, add 5½ cups or 825 grams of all-purpose flour and 1 teaspoon or 6 grams of fine sea salt. Whisk all that together until thoroughly combined, and then back to our yeasty juices. Whisk in a 1/4 cup or 60 milliliters of neutral tasting oil, then stir in your flour mixture gradually. Begin mixing that by hand, and then knead that for about 5 minutes or until relatively smooth. Okay, it might be a little sticky, and that's totally fine, so take a sip of water and relax. Now shape that bad boy into a ball, grease a large bowl, plop your chunky little man in there, cover with greased plastic wrap, and give it some sort of a personality. Yeah, sure. Let that rise at room temp for 1½ hours or until doubled and plump. While that bad boy is rising, let's get our most important element to our pretzel ready. This is not optional. Sorry, if you want pretzels, you must do this. You're gonna need a highly diluted lye water bath. What? Isn't lye bad for you? Well, yes and no. The way it's used here is relatively harmless because it's in low concentrations, although it must be handled with care. Please be careful because Papa loves you and Papa wants to see you be healthy and win at life. So be sure to acquire food grade lye, link in the description for what I used, and then simply get yourself 1,000 grams exactly of filtered with water and carefully whisk in 30 grams of food grade lye until fully dissolved. Be careful not to splash yourself on the skin or any wooden or granite countertops with this stuff because it will discolor. Place that to the side somewhere safe. Remember, this stuff is dangerous if it touches the skin, so you've been warned. The liability is on you. Now, assuming your pretzel has risen beautifully, it's time to shape. Punch every last living breath out of your little man, dump it out onto the counter, and break down into 12 to 14 even pieces. Take each of those pieces and roll into tightly taut balls. You know, many great things start with balls. Now let your balls rest for 10 minutes covered, and once your balls have rested, using both your hands, roll that ball out into a very long rod. Try to get it as long as you can while applying more pressure to the ends to get pointing tips, and once it's about 13 to 14 inches long and it won't stretch anymore, bring the ends together, twirl them together once, and bring them back down to the center of the rod to create a pretzel shape. Once you have all your pretzels, it's the moment of truth. To dip these in lye, you must be very cautious. Pop on some powderless gloves and gently dip a pretzel into the lye bath, let it soak for a few seconds, then carefully transfer it onto a soap pat lined baking sheet. Now, for salted pretzels, at this point you would hit them generously with flaky sea salt, or if you want to be fancy, smoked flaky salt. And for the cinnamon ones, well, just leave your canvas blank. No egg wash or nothing. The lye coating will handle everything for you. Now pop that bad boy in an oven set to 450 Fahrenheit for 10 to 15 minutes or until beautifully puffed, unbelievably crusty, deep burnished pretzels emerge. Just get a nice gentle brushing of some melted unsalted butter, being careful not to knock off any flakes. And just let those rest until warm and dig in while fresh from the oven. For the cinnamon sugar, it's unbelievably easy. Get a medium-sized bowl, add 3/4 of a cup or 155 grams of granulated sugar, a 1/4 cup or 55 grams of dark brown sugar, and 2.5 teaspoons or 7 grams of ground cinnamon. Give that some whiskey business, only to realize your brown sugar was clumpy and gross, so you had to sift it out, but you shouldn't have to do that assuming it's fresh. Lessons learned. Then get yourself 1 cup or 225 grams of melted salted butter, not unsalted. Dunk your pretzel completely in that melted butter, like really fully coat that thing. Then quickly toss in a bowl of your cinnamon sugar until completely coated. And just take a look at this thing. It's like a diamond crusted pretzel. Now, we have 2 utterly impeccable pretzels. Now, just by looking at this tragedy next to mine, we might as well call this a dub, but we must first verify with a taste test.
You sit here and tell me this looks better? Shut up. Good Lord. The best way I can describe this is everything you could ever want in a pretzel texturally, flavor-wise, in your entire life. Moving on to the next. The cinnamon sugar. I'm literally trying to keep saliva from falling out of my mouth. It was like right at my lip, like, oh, hello. Oh my God. Masala spice? More like mommy. There is no comparison between these two. Double Time knocked it out of the park. The sweetness is balanced. It's actually spicy. The other one just tastes like straight sugar. Real butter. It's fragrant. The texture, obviously the same qualities of this pretzel, but sensuous-er. Kendrick, please, I need you. Hey, buddy, how you doing?
Hi, I'm all right.
Numero uno. That was so loud. My ears are ringing.
Oh, wow.
Number 2. Number 1 or number 2, which was your preference?
Number 1. Number 2 was a little too chewy.
Lack of a crusty.
There wasn't a lot of flavor. It was just kind of bready and like.
Are you telling me that?
Salt.
Tell me you don't like Auntie ants that much, huh?
No, that's not what I'm saying. I'm betraying my auntie.
Next. Oh my God, don't bite my hand. So that's number 1. Number goddamn 2.
Oh my God.
So that was number 2.
God, number 2 is so good. I'm sorry, auntie. The texture is great. It's fluffy in the middle. It's thick.
Look at the difference of the crumb. It's got like lift. The choice is yours. I would say GG, but this was like an onslaught. I carried this shit. Anyway, if you want your mouth to feel good, make this recipe.
You want to know what else is full of glossy, twisty rods of dough? B-roll. All right, guys, and that is it. So we made our Auntie Anne's pretzels. Really, all I did was make a proper pretzel. What was really exciting about this? Learning that you can use a simple technique to make pretzels. That's all it really is. Just take the time that it requires, which is not that much, and mostly just waiting for it to rise. You're gonna go to the mall for 4.5 hours to decide that you're not gonna get 95% of the things that you're looking at just to order this crappy pretzel, when you could just spend an hour and a half or 2 at home making the best pretzels of your life and kicking back, relaxing, watching a little Netflix or something, having a good old time, getting some R&R. It's good for your body, right? And in all honesty, the cinnamon sugar took the show. It just did. But with all that said, if you enjoyed this video or you learned something, leave a like, subscribe, and I will see you next time.